Hi everybody, in today's video I'm going to be talking about the best diet to permanently cure ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease. I'm going to be sharing exactly what I do with my clients that have ulcerative colitis or Crohn's, and these principles are going to be what really allow you to heal. This allowed my client Niphon to heal. He used to have 3 to 5 really bad UC flare-ups every single year. These flare-ups would last for several months. They would include horrible bleeding and debilitating pain, and he has been flare-up free for a whole year now. So if you don't know me already, my name is Kaylee. I am a certified nutritionist and gut health specialist, and I love helping people to heal their chronic gut issues like ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease at the root so that they can be symptom-free and really enjoy life again. So let's get into this video. First, I'm going to be talking about what diet and foods actually cause IBD, so irritable bowel disease, Crohn's or colitis. Then I'm going to be talking about why diet is such a powerful healer. It is seriously way more powerful than the medications out there. Those will only be a band-aid solution. Diet will help you to heal the root of this issue, to fully heal those sores and lesions, not bleed anymore, not have mucus in your stools, not have that diarrhea. This is what will allow you to have that normal life and freedom again. Then I'm going to be going over the 3 keys to a successful IBD diet, how you can heal, the 3 biggest things you should be focusing on. And I'm going to be talking about how this is slightly different than some of the other gut healing diet advice that I commonly talk about on this channel, because you want to be a little bit stricter if you do have Crohn's or colitis in order to ensure you're really healing as quickly as possible. Now don't worry, this isn't going to be excessively restrictive by any means at all. You just need to be a little more conscious compared to people that might have a little bit more mild digestive issues. So let's talk about diet and what diet and food really causes IBD in the first place. There are a few different causes. You know, stress is a huge component. Just poor digestion, other digestive issues can contribute to this. Toxins can contribute, but the biggest contributor I often see is diet. So what actually damages your intestinal lining? What causes those sores, those ulcers that start bleeding and causing you so much pain and discomfort? There are a few things. So the first one I want to talk about is anti-nutrients, which I know I talk about a lot, but it's because this is really important. So anti-nutrients like lectins can really scrape at your intestinal lining and really rub it down and start causing those sores. Heard it explained before, like if you get a cut, a scrape, if you were to keep scraping it over and over again, it wouldn't allow it to heal. So you really need to cut these things out that keep scraping it so you can give your body a chance to heal these sores. Now, these anti-nutrients are going to be in foods like nuts, grains, seeds, and legumes. So a lot of times people can be kind of confused why they got gut issues when they feel so healthy. I was one of those people. But what happens is some of these foods that are so-called healthy are really high in anti-nutrients and actually scraping your gut and just being really difficult to digest. So you really have to be mindful of those foods. Another really big food contributor or cause for Crohn's and colitis is going to be too much fiber, especially the insoluble fibers like cellulose. These also scrape at your intestinal walls and really cause those sores that are going to bleed, make it hard to digest food, make it hard to tolerate food, make you nutrient deficient, and just cause all those uncomfortable symptoms. So this is going to be really high in grains, beans, lentils, seeds, nuts, and really fibrous veggies like kale or celery. Anything that you're eating and then you have that like big clump of fiber left over that you can't even really swallow. And definitely don't swallow that, spit that out. That's not doing you any favors. So then the Third one is going to be seed oils, which are so common in so many different foods. These are going to be oils that are made of seeds. So you could have grapeseed oil, you can have canola oil, which is made from rape seeds. You could have sunflower oil, safflower oil, all these different oils that are made from grains or nuts or seeds, commonly called vegetable oils too, are very, very inflammatory. They are made of a very unstable fat that just becomes even more unstable with all the heat and chemicals and processing that it undergoes to turn those seeds into oil. So they're very inflammatory and they really just inflame your gut. They also are very high in free radicals, which cause a lot of damage. So if you are consuming a lot of seed oils, which you might not realize you are, but if you're constantly cooking with canola oil or sunflower oil or going out to restaurants that do, or buying products that contain them, it really adds up. And these free radicals just cause a lot of damage to everything around them. So if you're eating them, they're just gonna cause a bunch of damage to the sides of your intestines and cause those sores that are Crohn's or colitis. And then I believe this is the last one, is processed foods. So processed foods are going to contain a lot of other gut harming things. They can contain artificial sweeteners, food dyes, gums, seed oils, preservatives, and just like other toxins that are going to be really harmful to your intestinal lining and cause those sores. So since poor food choices, or just, don't feel bad about yourself, like it happens, sometimes you don't know, but just making those choices that weren't good for your gut in the past damage your intestinal lining so badly. It's actually kind of nice because healing is so much easier because you really just have to cut those foods out and do a few other things with your diet in order to heal, which I'm going to be getting into in a minute or two. But yeah, just these foods are so harmful, but cutting them out and using your diet is equally as healing. So you really can heal through your diet. So let's just get right into that. There are 3 keys to making a successful Crohn's and colitis healing diet. So I want to say too, these are things that will help you cure it. And I say that fully intentionally. I choose cure, not remission, because if you do these and you heal up all those ulcers and sores on your intestines, you no longer have Crohn's or colitis. And as long as you don't do those same habits that caused it in the first place, you will never get it again. The reason I think sometimes people will think of remission is because they'll do things that heal it and then they'll go back to old habits that just cause it again. So they feel like it's remission and they're just doomed to have this over and over again, or they're just so susceptible to it, but that's really not the case. This is something that you can cure. You can fully heal up those sores that are causing the bleeding, that are causing the symptoms, and you can fully heal your gut so that you never get this again. You do have to stick to these eating principles for most of the time. Now, they're not that restrictive, and 80 to 90% of the time is fine. You just have to maintain these principles, and you also have to stick to the other components of healing. So you can't expect to maintain the progress if you go back to eating tons of grains and seed oils and processed foods, and you go back to a super stressful lifestyle and you're exposed to all these toxins. Like, yes, you're going to get it again. But if you do a pretty good job at avoiding toxins, keeping stress low, and sticking to these dietary principles I'm about to share with you 80 to 90% of the time, then you should never get this again once you're healed. So let's get to what these are. The very first one is to cut out those foods that damage your gut lining. So the foods that I spent the first part of the video talking about, boom, cut those out right away. Also, I should say significantly decreasing will also help. Most of the time for Crohn's and colitis, it is just the best idea to just cut all the nuts, seeds, grains, and legumes out. You will heal so much faster that way. If you really, really want to have a little bit of one and you properly prepare it, you probably could still heal that way. It probably will just take longer. That's something where people with less bad digestive issues, I usually say, oh, go for it, have a little bit if you like it. I would really recommend you just full on cut that food group out for now, and then later you can definitely enjoy some of those again. But yeah, I really would cut that out. Even if you do cut out like 95%, that is huge. So if you'd be more successful with cutting out 90 to 95% of this, instead of 100, like go for that. That's better than doing nothing, but cutting it all the way out will be the most beneficial and you'll see the quickest results. So this really, the reason this is so important is because it's going to prevent further damage to your gut lining. It's going to stop scraping your intestinal walls. It's going to stop scraping at those lesions. So you're not going to have the anti-nutrients, the fiber, the processed foods, the seed oils scraping, inflaming, and damaging your intestinal lining anymore. And because you don't have that repeated stress, it's going to give your body a chance to really start healing these, because your body is always working to heal your body and bring it back to its optimal state of health. You just have to get out of its way. So in this sense, that means cutting out these things that are damaging it. Now, the second most important part of a successful Crohn's and colitis healing diet is that you really need to include nutrients that will help aid the healing process. So yes, your body will just be naturally working at healing your intestines constantly, but it will be so much more effective and so much faster if you provide the tools that it needs to repair this damage, and it'll just be so much quicker. So what you need for that is you need collagen, you need vitamin A, and you need some other nutrients. Omega-3 is a huge one too. You really need a nutrient-rich diet. Those are just 3 of the most important ones for healing. So yeah, that's going to be a huge component. Now the third one is to include foods that won't aggravate or worsen IBD. Together, all 3 of these are really a recipe for success. You want to avoid the foods that are worsening and causing those lesions, include tons of nutrient-dense foods that will help heal, and then the remainder of your diet can just be foods that they don't have to be the most healing foods in the world, but they can't be foods that are further damaging it. So like fruit, fruit isn't the most healing thing in the world. It does have some nice minerals and vitamin C that are great, but it's also not going to be really contributing to that. It's not going to be making it any worse. So that's what I mean by that category. Or like tea is another example. It's not really like a super healing food, but it's not going to make it worse. Also want to note, in order to heal your Crohn's or colitis, if you have any other root causes, I briefly touched on some of these. This could be toxin overload, it could be chronic stress, it could be other digestive issues that are contributing to this. Anything like that, you need to address that at the root as well if you're going to heal. So if you'd like help with that, that is what I do in my program, Ancestral Gut Healing. I work with clients one-on-one to help them heal their chronic gut issues like Crohn's and colitis at the root. I go much more in depth on these 3 principles, and I teach you how to implement them for yourself. I look at your diet and we plan out specifically a Crohn's and colitis healing diet that will work for you and your lifestyle that you enjoy. I also help you to really figure out the other root causes for you, to pinpoint this and narrow down what's causing your Crohn's and colitis, and then we address those root causes too. So I map out a plan for you to heal, and I really help you to fill in those missing gaps that you aren't currently doing that you need to do to heal those ulcers and lesions and become symptom-free as soon as possible. So if you want to learn more about what I offer in my program, then I would be happy to talk with you more and see if it is a good fit for you and answer any questions you have and just explain more about what it would look like to work together. So if you're interested in that, I will leave a link down below where you can book a call with me to learn more about what I offer and see if you would like to work together. So if you're interested, I would love to talk with you. Again, I'll leave that link down below. And oh, one more note, I am running a spring special right now too. So if you have been considering getting help with your gut issues and considering working with me, now is a great time because I'm offering a little perk right now. So everyone who signs up before April 12th, Friday, April 12th, will get 1 extra free one-on-one call with me and 1 whole extra month of coaching. So you will get so much more support than I already offer from signing up now. So if you are interested, it's a great time to learn more. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you want to learn more about how to heal your gut issues at the root and get to be symptom-free as soon as possible through very natural methods like your diet and lifestyle, then consider subscribing because I share about that all the time. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.